In the morning when I rise, give me Jesus.
Good morning. So yesterday, some of you noticed that my backdrop is different. That's because I'm not at home. And I'm coming to you from my daughter's place in North Carolina. And just because I'm not home doesn't mean I'm not thinking about you. And so I want you to have a day encouraged to be aware of the presence of God with you. But I want to talk some more about righteousness. Jesus went nuts over the most righteous people that there were when he was on earth. Sometime read Matthew 23. It talks about how the Pharisees would pray, and they'd pray long and hard, and Jesus didn't like the way they prayed. And they would fast, and they'd fast very visibly, and Jesus didn't like the way they fasted. And they would tithe on the tiniest little thing. I'll just read one verse. It's in Matthew 23, verse 23. It says, "Woe to you, scribes." This is Jesus talking. "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! For you tithe mint and dill and cumin." So when you tithe, do you tithe on your birthday presents and your Christmas gifts? And no, you tithe on your dollar income, but you don't tithe on every increase that comes. And what about things that you take out of the garden? Do you calculate the value of that and tithe 10%? You don't, but the Pharisees did. That's what I'm trying to say. And Jesus didn't like it. And here's why. He says, "You have neglected the weightier provisions of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. These are the things that you should have done without neglecting the other." Can you see that mercy and faithfulness and justice, that's inside stuff. That's things that come out from a heart and a spirit that is in tune with the things of God. Oh, Jesus said in Matthew 5, verse 20, "I say to you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, then you will not enter the kingdom of heaven." We've got some guys that were more righteous in their behavior than any of us probably will ever be. And Jesus said, unless our righteousness is beyond theirs, then we don't have a place in the kingdom of heaven. So how do we get a righteousness that's beyond that of the scribes and Pharisees? Oh, I've been trying to tell you, it's an inside deal. We get it by Jesus, who became righteousness for us. That's the gospel. If I were to read more in Matthew 5, let me start in verse 17. "Do not think that I come to abolish the law or the prophets. I did not come to abolish, but to fulfill." That's Jesus talking. He came to fulfill the law. "For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not the smallest letter or stroke shall pass from the law until all is accomplished. Whoever then annuls one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same, they shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever keeps and teaches them, he shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." And I've heard the preacher take that and say, "See there, you better be a good boy." But that's not what that's saying. We're going to take it the next step tomorrow. I want you to see that righteousness is not based on your behavior. What's it based on? We're going to talk about that. It's coming up. In the meantime, enjoy the truth that you are indeed the righteousness of God. Talk to the Holy Spirit about that, because it's His job to convict you of your righteousness. And we'll talk again tomorrow. God bless you.
Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You can have all this world. Jesus.